Hello and welcome back to JP26. This is your boy JP. And of course, this is Studio 26. It's the springtime episode.
Keep it real, JP. 26 for the studio. What's the deal lately? To the 6 storylines we go. Keep it real, JP. 26 for the studio. What's the deal lately? To the 6 storylines we go. Hey, JP. Spring doesn't start until the middle of March. What a dumbass.
LeBron James. You guys, I cannot even fathom how this man at his age is still playing the way that he is. The uncomfortable reality that everybody's now facing in the NBA right now is we all thought, yeah, this is going to be LeBron's last couple years. And of course, he's going to slowly fall out of that top 5 players in the NBA. And then he'll slowly fall out of the top 10 in the NBA. And then he'll kind of be one of the right around bottom tier first talent guys on a team, you know, kind of dwindle off that way. No, that is not what happened at all. And it's not what's been happening. This guy is still a top 5 NBA player. How? How is that possible? And what's truly amazing about it is, has he lost a little bit of his athleticism? For sure, he has. But what's crazy is this dude is such a phenomenal athlete, and he has been his whole NBA career. I'm not being over dramatic when I say this. I think that this guy is the best athlete I've ever seen, period. Just pure athleticism in his prime. I don't think that there was a better athlete that's ever existed, at least that I've seen. And so my thought was when he was younger that he wouldn't really age that gracefully, because I'm like, he's going to rely too much on his speed. He's going to rely too much on his power. When that stuff starts to go, he's probably not going to be an effective player in the NBA anymore.
Wrong.
What I didn't see coming is that his speed and power at 75% LeBron would still be better than 95% of the NBA. And then the guy's been playing so long and working on his craft so long that now he's hitting threes pretty consistently. His finishing ability is next level. His IQ has only gotten better, and the dude has had a phenomenal IQ since he got to the NBA. What do you think 20 years later has done? So LeBron, he's going to get a lot of hate from a lot of people because that's the nature of what happens when you're this big of a superstar. But I don't want this to be understated. This guy is top 1, top 2, top 3 NBA players all time, no matter how you slice that. And what we're seeing right now has just never been done.
Ever.
And I think that we all need to take a step back instead of having this really strong opinion about everything or how you feel about the NBA right now. And all of us could go on to talk about many of those things. But for the moment, let's just appreciate what LeBron is doing at his age. It's remarkable. I don't know that we'll ever see it again. And it seems like this guy, Luka Doncic, has revitalized him because ever since Luka got there, he has gone from playing exceptionally well to playing ridiculously well. Lakers have climbed all the way up into that 3 spot. Okay? I still don't think that they're going to make a title run. I still think that if you don't have a big man, it's going to be tough for you to get past Jokic and the Nuggets. But there's no doubt about it. They've given themselves a better shot. This guy, Luka and LeBron, are playing unbelievable together. And we're going to see how it works out at the end of the year. No doubt the Lakers made the correct trade by trading Anthony Davis for Luka to set themselves up for the next decade. I didn't think that short term it would work out very well, but so far it has. Okay?
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So we're going to see how this ends up playing out. But as of right now, that is my number 6 storyline, is LeBron James is playing unbelievable for his age. Let's all appreciate it.
I like saying no. It lowers their enthusiasm.
All right, so let's get right into it. Fight of the night for me, Ribovic, Haqparast. I thought those guys put on a heck of a war. They were sitting on their punches, throwing some absolute heat at each other, and connecting quite a number of times. Great fight between Nasrat and Esteban. These are two guys that I see in the future being title contenders, being in that top 5. I think both these guys have the ability to get there eventually in their career. Will they? I'm not so sure, but can they? They for sure have the potential, and sign me up for either one of these dudes fighting at all time, because they go out there and try to throw bombs, and I love that. I love when fighters try to finish the fight.
Fucking come anywhere I want. I'll fucking come on these walls. I'll come on the fucking cabinets, on the fucking furniture. I'll come everywhere.
And the performance of the night for me, aka the finish of the night for me, was Sam Patterson, who I did not think was going to survive that fight. In fact, I thought that if he was going to win, it was probably going to be a decision, or maybe even some kind of a submission where he ended up taking the back and choking him out. But that is not what happened. Sam Patterson threw a cheeky little check right hook in tight. He ended up hurting him. And then from there, it was just a few shots. Hurt him again. Got him to the fence. And then put him out cold with the ground and pound. So, unbelievable performance from Sam Patterson. I listened to the guy talk after the fight in his post-fight interview. Sounds like a really smart dude. Sounds like a dude that's extremely dedicated to his craft of being a fighter.
I like this one.
Moving forward at 170, I don't know that he's a title challenger. That is, yet to be seen. We're going to have to see this guy against higher level competition. But I do know that he looked really good out there this last performance. And I'm excited to see his next fight and see what he does. So shout out to Sam Patterson. Story of the UFC card, though, was the eye pokes basically ruining the main event. So you have a few media outlets out there who aren't even really talking about it. You do have some that are talking about it. But a lot of people are just blowing right past the fact that there were some eye pokes by Manel Kape on his opponent, Asu Almabayev. And they're just going right to, well, shout out to Manel Kape. Let's give this guy a title shot now. I understand that Manel Kape has had his string of bad luck with opponents pulling out of fights and different things of that nature happening. But you can't win a fight like that and get a title shot. I don't even think that he should get credit for that win. I think that they need to overturn that with a no contest. There was so many eye pokes in that fight. It was crazy. And they didn't allow Asu Almabayev any time to recover whatsoever for any of it. Like, they gave him like 10 seconds the first time, and then they wrongfully waved off the eye poke. The judges on the outside said, oh, no, that was a clean hit, and it wasn't. So they made him get right back to fighting, and he still hadn't recovered. And look, Manel Kape looked like he was the more skilled fighter. He looked like he was probably going to end up picking up the win anyway. But the problem is you don't know for sure that's what would have happened, and you didn't allow Asu to get his opportunity to take it into the later rounds and do anything about it. And the thing is fights can flip in a matter of moments. That's the nature of the business. We've seen it countless times where a fighter is dominating and then all of a sudden they get tired and then they end up getting shut down, or they get caught in a submission and all of a sudden it's over, or they get overexcited beating on their opponent and they get caught with a knockout.
What does that have to do with anything?
No. He's got a point.
And so I just thought it was a pretty weak ending. I didn't like it at all. I don't think that that's how you should earn a title shot. I don't think that that's how you should get a win in the UFC.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
And I certainly don't think that that's how you give a guy a loss. Like, I'm the guy that's getting eye poked all fight, and then I get the loss. And the crazy part is, yeah, he was running around a little bit at the end, and then the referee ended up stopping it because he was running around. But, like, what part of him running wasn't he intelligently defending himself? He was still intelligently defending himself. He wasn't getting hit with huge shots. He was starting to grapple. I just thought it was a poor referee performance. I thought it was a poor judging performance. I thought the card was littered with bad scorecards.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
That's what I thought. It kind of ruined what should have been a really good night for the Apex, because as we know, the Apex can use all the help it can get with these cards, and the fights were actually pretty good, but then you had it overshadowed with some of that nonsense. So that was it for me for the UFC last night. Also, do not forget, we are going to have UFC 313 reaction here from Studio 26. I'm going to have Gator here. We might even have Wheels stop by, but we will be doing a UFC recap of that event. And as you guys know, that is a monster event. You have Alex Pereira, you have Ankalaev, you have Gaethje, you have Fiziev, and there are more fights than that to go over. A lot of implications, so I cannot wait to go over that one for you guys, so stay tuned. But that is my number 5 storyline, UFC at the Apex.
Hello, is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone home?
It's spring training. Very excited for baseball. A lot of storylines to go over from baseball this year. Ohtani returns to the mound after having a dominant year hitting. Now he's going to be hitting and pitching, making the Dodgers even more lethal. Shit.
Here is $100. Please put it in a brown paper bag along with a nice big pile of shit and send it over there.
Excuse me.
Human shit. Right now.
That is really disgusting,
No,
Ari.
really disgusting is going to be the American Psycho-style dismemberment I'm going to perform on you if you don't do that right fucking now.
What about doggy poo?
Human shit. Yours if it's easier. Otherwise, go camp out in the men's bathroom or the women's bathroom, whichever will have you. But I need a specimen.
Juan Soto goes to one part of town with the Yankees. Now he's on the Mets. How is that going to look? How are the Mets going to be this year with that billion-dollar budget that they got going on?
I think what everyone wants to know now is, what are you going to do with all this money?
I'm going to reinvest my money into the community.
Oh, that's a very nice gesture. What were you saying?
Speaking of the Yankees, you got Aaron Judge and some of the new additions that the Yankees have gotten. Are they going to be able to still win the AL East? How are they going to respond this year? Will Aaron Judge continue to put up historic numbers? They're going to have to be battling with the Red Sox, who now bring in Bregman. Fantastic third baseman, which brings about some issues for them. Will Devers play third? Will Bregman play second? So far, that's how they're making it sound. Not a huge fan of that. I don't think Devers is very good at third base. I think he should be DHing, but his pride will not allow him to do that. So he wants Bregman to play second base, even though they have some talent coming through at second base who should probably be starting while Bregman's over there at third. So we're going to see how that storyline unfolds throughout the year. I would imagine there's a lot of Red Sox fans who are a little bit irritated that Devers wants to continue to play third, when it's pretty clear that the Red Sox would be a better team overall if he just moved to the DH role. But it is what it is.
You think he a Mac?
Macaroni.
Kyle Tucker, he's now on the Cubs after coming over from the Astros, who formerly were in that division a number of years ago. He has moved over to the National League to play for the Cubs. I am hoping that he can help turn that team into a good team. I think the Cubs being good is good for baseball. I enjoy watching games when they're at Wrigley Field. I like the look of it. I like the aesthetics.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
AL Central, pretty much any of those teams could win the division, so that's going to be one to watch out for. Well, not all the teams in that division. You know what I mean? And then you have the AL West, and they got a few teams out there who are going to be fighting for that spot, with obviously the Astros and the Rangers, the two Texas teams going to be fighting it out. You have the Mariners, who are going to be looking to ascend to win the AL West for themselves. And then you have the two California teams.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes. Somebody open the window.
Not so much. Hey, one of them's moving to Vegas soon. That's exciting.
Bye, Felicia.
And hey, we even got my Padres, man. Padres might actually go all the way and win the World Series this year. No, they won't.
And that's the truth. With some cheese on it. There ain't no meatloaf between these buns.
Man, I love this event, guys. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We was just talking about how I love watching the Cubs play, right? Because Wrigley's so classic, but what looks more classic for hockey than playing outdoor where ice typically is?
Well, no fucking shit.
Cause that where you find ice, unless you look in your freezer.
Come on, son.
But that game was electric. It made it even better that it came down to the final wire and that there was shots going back and forth at the end and a tie game and then a retaking of the lead and the home team wins, and you had the shout out to Goudreau from the very classy Columbus Blue Jackets organization. So it was just an awesome event, and I hope that we see it more. The NHL just hit it out of the ballpark with 4 nations, and now they come back with doing the Stadium Series. I would like to see it more. I want to see it incorporated more. I love watching those games, and I think that it should be put more on like a national spotlight when that is happening, and more people should talk about it because it's really fucking cool. I think it's a beautiful thing that they have it in the stadium. One critique I would say about it, though, is it seemed to me that the fans were just a little too backed up. I understand that there's logistics involved and all of this with the stadium seating and whatnot, but I just kind of want to see the fans up and close to that glass as well. Can we get like a, you kind of make that happen? Can we get both the stadium as well as the up close? Like, how do we make that happen? Let's do that. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's storyline number 3.
Nerd alert. Okay, guys, now let's match pitch.
The controversy that unfolded in boxing. And is anybody shocked by that statement?
How about no?
Yeah, me fucking neither. You know, if you judge the fight how it probably should have been judged, with what the referee gave us, then yes, it's probably a 114 draw, and I agree with that. The problem is, Tank Davis was knocked down, and they didn't give Roach the credit for the knockdown, which would have swayed that 114 for the 2 judges to be 115 to 113, and the other judge, who had it 115 for Tank, would have had it 114. That moves it to a majority decision win for Roach, giving Davis his first ever loss. But of course not in boxing. That's never going to be how it works, because boxing is a filthy fucking game.
Tell them to bring me my money.
But it does set up the rematch, which of course boxing loves. And so I just wanted to say, you know, despite the controversy and despite all that, because I'm not trying to focus too much in on that, it's just, it's hard not to talk about it when it's so right in front of your face. Do you know what I mean? But outside of that, Roach, fantastic fight. Lamont Roach deserves all the credit in the world. The dude's hands looked lightning fast. He looked dangerous out there. He looked like he had Tank worried. That's what it looked like to me. So shout out to you, Lamont Roach. You performed unbelievably. Shout out to Tank Davis, who did his thing out there as well. It's not his fault that the referee fucked that up. He just happened to benefit from it.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
The NFL West has changed, and not in the way that we thought it would. Over the past week and a half, we've all been talking about Matthew Stafford possibly being on the move. Although somebody here told you guys to mute that bullshit. And I'm going to need all the football fans out there, and especially all the Rams football fans out there, to go ahead and hit that mute button. Come on, man, hit unmute. I know I told you to hit mute, but just unmute me at least. But if you think that Matthew Stafford is on the move, you are out of your mind. But that's neither here nor there. What did end up happening is Matthew Stafford went back to the Rams, which makes complete sense for all the reasons that we talked about last week.
Down to 35 seconds left. Higbee in motion. Stafford's got to have it. His throw is incomplete. Not close. Philadelphia to the championship game.
And for the 49ers, having drafted a receiver last year, still having Brandon Ayuk, and not wanting to pay their offense too much money, they have Purdy's deal coming up. They get rid of Deebo Samuel. So he goes to the Commanders. There's a lot of talk about the Commanders having this older offense now with Eckler and McLaurin and Deebo Samuel, and that the age is going to end up hurting them.
I can't let you in because you're old as fuck.
Yeah, all those guys are 29 years old. They're not as old as you think they are.
Older the berry, the sweeter the juice.
I think it's the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yeah, well, yeah. She blacker than a motherfucker, too.
Deebo Samuel is going to be an absolute weapon for the Commanders. You can plug him in so many different positions. They can use him at kick returner. They can use him at receiver. They can use him at running back. They can use him on end arounds. There's so many different ways to get Deebo Samuel the ball and to have him take pressure off the rest of your pieces on your offense, allowing guys like Terry McLaurin to get freed up, allowing guys like Austin Eckler to find a little bit more room out there. You add another piece, another guy at the goal line who can give you hard, tough yards. We talk about, these receivers being unbelievable athletes and being super fast and going up and getting the high balls and all that stuff. But there's something to be said to a receiver that's built like a running back. And make no mistake about it, this guy Deebo Samuel right here is about half running back. So you get him around those goal line situations. You got Brian Robinson, you got Jaden Daniels, you got Austin Eckler, you got Deebo Samuel. You have all of these options now to get it into the end zone by running the football. That doesn't even count Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin that you can throw the ball to, right? I mean, you could do other things with those guys too, but for the most part, that's kind of how they're going to be used. So I thought it was a really great move by both teams. I think the 49ers needed to offload Deebo, get out of that contract, and start working on other things on their team that they would need a bit more than that. And for the Commanders, you're now entering a window where Jaden Daniels is on this rookie deal, and you want to put some guys around him who are veterans, who have been there, who have done that. They still have the skill to go out there and do it, and then go out there and make plays for you. So Deebo Samuel, he's probably going to be reinvigorated to play with a guy like Jaden Daniels, and I would imagine that Cliff Kingsbury has all kind of shit that he's cooking up for that offense now that Deebo is there. He's what they like to call a joker.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
Before we get to the birthday shout out, we got to talk about the absolute fucking betrayal of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now you listen here, John Cena. And you listen here, Final Boss.
Okay, everyone, shut up and look at me.
How dare you go after Cody Rhodes like that? If I see you guys anywhere, I'm about to run away and talk some major shit to you online. Because you're big as fuck.
Man, I got mind control over Deebo. He be like, shut the fuck up. I be quiet. But when he leave, I be talking again.
I mean, John Cena was so loyal and so obedient to The Rock last night that I actually thought that The Rock was the Chinese government for a second. Burn! And now it's time for the birthday shout out of the week. Who is the athlete that we're shouting out this week?
We baked you a
birthday cake. If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
Well, yeah, apology, I wasn't really familiar with your game.
Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, the big Shaq this, the big Shamrock, the big Aristotle. You get the idea. Shaquille O'Neal, happy birthday, my man. You inspired a generation, and pretty cool, man. You know, pretty cool guy. If only I could make it rain like you made it rain some burgers.
That's it? A Happy Meal?
Oh.
Oh, good.
That's like a Shaq free throw, eh? Hey guys, I wanted to thank you for watching my show. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe on my content so I can do this shit full time, motherfucker. I want to do this shit full time. I want to do it all the time. I want to watch sports for you. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do it full time. Like and subscribe. Peace.